Hey, what's going on everyone? Shiva Sapata here with another Tesla accessory review. Today we're taking a look at this new instrument cluster display from Hansshow. This is marketed as F68, which to me sounds like a fighter jet's name. But anyhow, so this is an instrument cluster display for Tesla Model 3 and Model Y. I received a few inquiries to review this, so I reached out to Hansshow and got them to send this display for me here today. I'm going to install it and I'm going to show you what this display offers, if they added anything new, and I have links down below with all the detailed step-by-step installation guide, both for the AMD, the Intel chip, the front camera, everything I'm gonna link down below. If you look at the packaging here, it looks very, very familiar. We have done this install so many times. This is exactly like I believe they're calling it 8.6 display, the previous generation display. It has got a little beeper here. That's the speaker, the built-in speaker. This screen looks very, very familiar, similar to the past. And then they have this 1080p camera over here. This is the extension for the camera. There's the hardware to mount the camera. You can either use a double-sided tape or the screws that they send. This is the wiring harness, large wiring harness, because it incorporates both the Intel, which is the small one, or the AMD, which is this blue chip with the power supply over here embedded. I really like this wiring. They also sent us some gloves this time. There is this pry tool. So that's everything here. The goal is that we're going to mount this camera in the front license plate area by the grill over there, and then route this all the way to the back using this extension, connect the wiring. We're going to install this on an AMD car, but I'll show you how to do that in the Intel car as well, and then just install this in the front. This is the initial impression, and I think they very much have that Tes Logic UI here. Looks very similar to what we have seen in the past and what we have liked, which is great. We have liked this UI in the past with that middle one over here showing the speed. We have got the US speed limit sign over there instead of just having that red circle like the European style. It shows the time, the temperature, it shows the current battery percentage and miles right next to each other, which is good. It shows the motor power, it shows the current trip, shows all the lights over here, the indication. So just like a typical instrument cluster that we have seen in the past, and then the TPMS is going to show up right there once we start driving. This is great. I like this UI. I think it's very clean. It shows everything here directly in front of you. So this is UI number 2. That's what they call it. And there's a dark and light mode for this. So if you click here, swipe here, you can go between different modes over here. So if we go to display and change the UI to UI 1, if we go back, this is what the UI 1 looks like. It's pretty sleek looking UI. We have seen this with other displays in the past, and we actually like this. If you look at it, it is a very HD quality representation of the Tesla system here. It's a red Tesla. It shows that the headlight is on, which it is on. Shows the battery, shows all of this here. Shows the range on the right, shows the temperature, again, the US speed limit, and this in large font. So I really like that it shows that in large font. It is easy to read, easy to see, and we have made that request in the past. So that's really nice that it shows that. And again, the little Tesla here is pretty HD quality. It doesn't look very cartoonish like in the past. So they did some job here refining the graphics. Now this is what the dark theme looks like. My camera is not doing a justice on showing how this looks in real life. It looks actually pretty decent. Just compared to the Tesla's UI, that's what it looks like, that UI here. So I think the graphic wise, they did a pretty good job. Here is the dark version of that UI 2. That's the more simplistic UI. It shows some critical car information there. So that's the dark version of that UI right there. So to change the setting, all we have to do is swipe left from the edge over here, and that is the main screen. Here is your CarPlay. So the second one is CarPlay. This is the camera, the third one, and then this is the setting. So if you look at the setting, there's the language, the time, just the basic setting. Very, very easy to change. I like that. They didn't make this very clunky or hard to find. So I do commend them for that. There's the display. You can go from bright to dark to auto. So you can just leave that in auto, and at some point it will just turn dark at night. There's the UI 1 and UI 2. They only offer 2 UIs. Here's the brightness. The CarLink is your the CarPlay and Android Auto. So that's where you connect that camera. there's the display, there's the normal, there's a full screen, so that all that goes to full screen versus just showing the camera on the side. I'll show you what that looks like. And then radar is high. So my car has radar still. This is the old Tesla. And my newer Teslas don't have radar. So I'm not sure how the radar is picking up on the new Tesla. Maybe the camera-based radar they're still implementing. If you have installed this on the newer Tesla, please let me know. But on mine, it does work where it is radar triggered, and I'll show you that here in just a second. And then this is just the version. So that is all the settings that you have. Fairly easy to change. All you have to do is swipe from the right. This is what the driving view looks like. We accelerate, shows the speed, tells me to put on my seat belt. Here's the turn signal, right, left, so everything functions well, and it matches with what I'm seeing here on the Tesla screen, so that's good. As you can see, the TPMS information is now fully populated over here. All the tire pressures are shown, the motor power, it shows in real time, the speed, everything is fully populated, and it matches with what we are seeing here on the Tesla's screen. Now the moment of truth. Does the autopilot indicator work? Usually in this displays with FSD beta, that's what I have, the autopilot does not work. So we're on an unmarked street with FSD beta. Wow. They got the autopilot working, and it actually matches the Tesla's UI with how this looks. So this is awesome. Kudos to Hansshow. Now we're going to try the autopilot in this UI number 1. As you can see, the autopilot works really well. The road is illuminated in blue, and you see the autopilot sign. Wow. This is amazing. Thank you, Hansshow, for figuring this out, because people on the FSD beta always miss out on this displays where it works for the regular autopilot, but not for the FSD beta. So now it works for FSD as well. Now this is what I want them to do. I want them to figure out a way to put a camera on the side. I have put one in over there and connected the camera so that when we put the blinker to go towards the right, as you see, it shows the blind spot camera here, and it shows that van on my blind spot. So that's what I want them to do, is figure out a way to either install the camera. So the front facing camera, I actually install it on the side just to show you that it is possible. They just need to work a little harder and figure out how to route that cable to the front and have a blind spot camera. That way you don't have to tap into the Tesla's camera, because they have a hesitation on doing that. And I get it. It's for a lot of reasons. Tesla uses it for autopilot. You don't want to mess that up. But if they could just figure out their own camera system to put it somewhere like on a normal car that they do on the side, the mirror, then hey, you can have that side repeater camera show up on this display. Do one on that side, so that program it where you put the signal and the side repeater camera shows up, which would be really nice. So I really, really hope that they can figure this out, and you can have the normal screen. And then, as I said, if they could do it where you put the blinker, and then when you put the blink, as soon as you put the blinker, this camera pop up, that would be amazing. Now, another thing I want them to figure out is how to put that gray car that you see, this car, into the screen, so that we don't even have to put the blinker to know that there is a car in the blind spot, so that when you put the blinker, it actually shows blind spot. But before that, it will show like a red car indication right here, right here. That would be amazing. So here is that Apple CarPlay. As you can see, all those supported apps are right here. Now we can use Waze. We can use the other CarPlay app directly from this screen. Here is that Android Auto. I have personally downloaded here, and it is working with our Android phone. So we can use all the Android Auto apps here as well. All right, let's talk about this display. We installed it, showed you what it looks like on the road. I think Hansshow got this figured out really, really well. There is just a few outstanding items that we keep asking for that we're still not seeing. I mean, this display is a small real estate. It doesn't block as much airflow. It has that front-facing camera. It has got the Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. It has got really nice UI. I mean, we like that TesLogic UI, and they made that look very, very similar to the TesLogic UI. And it has all the information that we had asked for on that UI. Of course, there's always more that we can ask for, but I think they did a decent job on figuring that out. The user interface and just general graphics also look a lot better on this one, even compared to the 86, 87, whatever display that they had recently, which look very, very similar to this. It's probably the same hardware. They just added a few features on this one, but regardless, it's a really nice upgrade compared to what we had in the past, and I think Hansshow is headed to the right direction. Now, I just have two things for Hansshow. If they can figure out that blind spot thing a little bit better. As I showed earlier in my demo, I mounted my camera on the mirror, side of the mirror, underneath that mirror, and just routed the cable inside from outside, and the door is still closed. So I think if they can figure it out just so that there's enough clearance, make the camera cable small and just pass it through the side, I think it does the job, or figure out a way to pass it from inside. They recently did that with a radar sensor on the automated door close and open, which a product that we're going to install. It's a larger project, so it's going to take a while for us to get there, but we're going to install that product in the future, where they put a radar in the exact same spot where I put the blind spot camera today, and just route it from both sides and then just connect to this. I think that would be wonderful, along with the front facing camera, of course, so that we can see the two-side camera and the front facing camera in the same screen. And even what would be amazing is if they could put that radar. They already have the radar for the auto door close. Perhaps they can put two radars on two sides and then the front radar. I think that would also be really, really nice. So there is a couple of those capabilities that Hansshow can integrate with this. That would be wonderful. And then, of course, that gray car sign that we see on the visualization here as we're passing by. You know, a typical like a Toyota or whatever cars that you're driving, and if there's a car in the blind spot, your mirror lights up saying there's a car in the blind spot. That's what I'm looking for on these instrument clusters, because Tesla isn't going to do that for us. We're going to have to put our blinker, and then Tesla shows red, which, you know, this display can replicate, or the previous version can replicate that. But I don't want to have to put the blinker to see that the car is in blind spot. Of course, you can make an argument. Just learn how to drive. Look at your mirror. I get it. I get all of that. Despite all of those arguments, all of the legacy car manufacturers are still making that blind spot warning. And that is my beef with Tesla, is why can't they just adopt? I get it, Tesla is going for full self-driving. Maybe you don't have to drive one day, but today I still have to drive. FSD is not reliable for me to not just let it drive and everything. So I really hope that Hansshow and other manufacturers who are looking to produce more of these displays in the future figure that out, because again, it has been a huge ask in the channel for the blind spot monitoring. So those are a couple of the feedback for Hansshow that I hope to see on future iteration of this display. Those were my 2 cents. What do you all think about this display? Would you get it for your Tesla Model 3 or Model Y? What are your likes? What are your dislikes? Please let me know in the comment section below. As I said before, Hansshow, along with all the manufacturers, are always monitoring our comment section to try to implement some of the products. So it'll be really nice for them, like a feedback, to show what you are looking for, and they will implement in the future. Like what we have seen with all of these iterations, they take our feedback and they make the products better. So I hope that continues. Thank you very much for your continuous support to the channel. We have a lot more products coming. Apologies that it has been a little bit of a delay on some of these videos. I was traveling, I was going through some family stuff. So now all of that is cleared out. I plan on making more videos and putting more frequent content out there. Thank you very much. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and come back again soon.